Hello bakers! Welcome back to another tutorial from Twinkle Baker Decor where you can bake your imagination. Today I will be demonstrating how to make Father's Day themed cupcakes. For the first cupcake we'll be using summer green frosting tube, a homemade flag, and green sanding sugar. For the second cupcake we'll be making a #1 Dad blue ribbon. We'll be using blue fondant, white fondant, gold sanding sugar, 2 cookie cutters, and an edible black ink pen. For the last cupcake, we'll be making a baseball themed cupcake and we'll be using a ball of white fondant and the edible ink black pen and also the green frosting tube. Everything we're using today you can find at twinklebakerdecor.com. So let's get started. So I have my cupcake here. I'm going to work with chocolate cupcakes today. And here's the green frosting tube in summer green. And we're just going to spread this on top of the cupcake. It's supposed to look like cut grass, so it doesn't have to be perfect. And I want to start with the edges. Make sure I don't go over the cupcake line. And I'm going to get my offset spatula and just spread it around just so it covers the top. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're going to cover the top of this with that green sanding sugar. I just want to make sure I get all the seams incorporated so I don't see those seams there anymore. Okay. So that's good. I like that. I'm going to get my bowl because I'm going to kind of pour the sanding sugar over the top. It's going to give it a really nice shine like real grass, real cut grass. So this is what it looks like. It's like a green turquoise sanding sugar. It gives it a really nice color over this green. I just want to pour it over my bowl, that way I can save the rest of it. So it kind of looks like fresh cut grass, the way the sanding sugar makes the top shine. Very nice. Then I have a homemade flag that I did out of a cut post-it note and a thin skewer. So I'm going to stick that in the side, towards the side, because I have a little piece of white fondant that I'm going to make a small golf ball out of. So I'm going to just knead it in between my fingers. I want to make it pliable. Then I'll put it right next to the flag. That's my first cupcake. And for our blue ribbon cupcake, I already have the cupcake frosted here. And here's the gold sanding sugar that we're going to be using for the edges of it. And so I just want to get this sanded first. So I have my bowl, so I want to catch all the sugars. I'm just going to sprinkle it on the sides. And I want a nice, generous sprinkle. That way you could see that beautiful gold color. Don't worry about pouring too much because your bowl's going to catch the rest. Here's my cupcake with the gold edges. And I'm going to set that aside. That way I can roll out my blue ribbon. And then I have my trusty cornstarch here on the side. Just want to sprinkle my board with a little bit of that. And then I have my rolling pin. I want to try to roll this out kind of thin, just because I'm going to be making ruffles out of this. And I want those ruffles to be defined. And I can do that with a thinner fondant. Just take any extra cornstarch off with my palm. And so the first cookie cutter is a little bit bigger. I'm going to cut that out. And here's the second cookie cutter. I'm just going to cut right in the middle and just cut the center out. And then I want to pinch the sides. So I want to go under it and pinch the sides, kind of like a reverse pie crust. And I don't want to pinch the whole edge. I just want to pinch the inner part. So I'm just going to take my fingers and just pinch the inside of that circle, but not the outside of the circle. So now I have my ruffles from my blue ribbon. I'm going to lay it right on top. Perfect. And I have a little bit of white. And I'm going to cut it with the smaller cookie cutter. So get my cornstarch again. Get both sides a little starchy. And what I like about cornstarch is that it dries out the fondant a little bit more, and for this I do want a dry product, especially since I'll be using the pen to write on it. So that's my center. So I'm just going to set that aside for a little bit and let the top kind of crust over. Then I have that blue part I'm going to bring back here. Take off extra cornstarch. And I'm going to make the tail ends for the blue ribbon. And so again, these are the little tail ends for that blue ribbon that I just made. And I want to cut this like, just like make a jagged edge. And bring back my cupcake. Place these just right under it, right in the frosting, and it'll kind of lay over just like that, like a real blue ribbon would. And stick it in the frosting. Perfect. And so now with my white piece, I'm going to get my pen. And this is called Eat Your Marker Pen. It's edible black ink. You can find this at twinklebakerdecor.com. And I'm just going to use this to write number 1 dad on top. So I'm just going to write number 1 dad. I don't want to press too hard on the fondant because then it's going to make these big dents in it. Perfect. And so now we have our cupcake. I want to put that right in the center. Push it down, just tap it in the middle so it touches the buttercream and it'll stick. And that's our second cupcake, and I think it's a winner. For our final cupcake, we're going to make the baseball themed cupcake. So I want to start with that round ball of fondant, and then I'm going to cut it in almost half. I just want to cut a bit of the bottom off because I don't want a full baseball. I just want it to kind of stick out of the cake. Then I'm going to take a toothpick and I just want to trace out where I want to put those stitches. So I'm just going to draw or trace over the side like a baseball. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so these are where the seams are going to be, and I'm going to draw black stitches across the seams. So I'm going to get my black pen, and I just want to draw those stitches. So I have my cupcake here, and here's the green frosting that we're going to use. The same thing that we use for the golf cupcake, but we're going to use a piping tip on this. So this actually comes with tips. It comes with a little bag of tips. We're going to be using the star tip. And so you want to take off the whole cap and then screw on the tip. And so my baseball will stick. I'm going to put a little bit in the center. Baseball right on top, and then we're going to do grass all around it. But first I want to do those red seams. Start at the top and then just go down, just because it's easier. I want to do the same thing to the other side. And so I'm going to get that summer green color and then do the grass around it. I just want to point, squeeze, and pull. And that's our third cupcake. So here are Father's Day themed cupcakes. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope you have a very happy Father's Day. Enjoy!